let's see what we can do today. You know, the slide shows you that we are going to do shadows, and this is an extension of last week's lesson on light. Light is when there is light. You can see things. Shadow is when the light is blocked. You cannot see things. Somehow it blocks the light and then a shadow is formed, because that area where the light is blocked, it becomes dark. So all of you are very familiar with shadows. You may have played with your fingers like this, right? Let's look at the next slide. Yes? If yes, you can just respond yes, 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 yes. You know, like you can play like last week's game, you know. Just go to the participants. Make sure your participant box is open. The participant box is open. Or the bottom, you'll see yes, no, go slower, go faster. We've already done this many times now. All of you are familiar. Okay. Let's do something interesting before we carry on. Okay. How many of you know how to do shadows like this? How many of you know how to do shadows like this? Not me, I cannot do the shadow. Okay, I'm actually seeing your chats. Not me, not me. Okay, those who are entering the class late today, the initial instruction was to switch off your webcams today. Okay, just for the sake of concentrating in the class, because later I will be asking some questions. I don't want to catch you off guard, because if you are switching on your webcam, then some of you are looking at other people's face, then you are caught dreaming, and then you cannot answer the question that I'm going to pose. So are you ready? Okay. A shadow is formed when light is completely or partially blocked by an object. You know this, right? So sometimes you know it, you know what it means by a shadow, but you can actually write it. We will ask you in the exam, how is a shadow formed? Oh, a shadow formed in the dark. Wrong. Okay. A shadow formed when there's no light. No light. Wrong. Okay. You do not know how to explain how a shadow is formed. So you say a shadow is formed when light is completely or partially blocked. Okay, so you see the full definition here on the slide. Now this is another one you can do. So I'm actually showing you lots of shadows that we can actually create for ourselves. All you need to do is switch off the light. Okay. And all we need to do is switch off the light and play with our hands, and we can create interesting shadows like this. If you haven't done this before, then you can actually try this. Okay. Later we will see if we can actually discover more example like this. Look at this guy. This is a shadow expert. Okay. Anish, can you do this, Anish? Let's see, Anish. Where's Anish? Anish, where are you? Okay, Anish, I'm going to unmute you. Please talk.
I can do this like, so you have to put it like this. And then you see that thing here. You have to fold it like this. Or you can, if you're an expert, you can do it like this. Okay.
But nobody can see your video, Anish. Is your video on? No, right?
Yeah.
The video is on. Okay, I can see now. Everybody can see Anisha. Okay, Anish, you just talk, bro. Yeah, they can see you. Anish is in the green t-shirt with nice big headphones. If you can see him, okay, then he will show us some shadows with his hands. Can come, Anish. Not shadows, but he'll show us the shapes that he does with his hands. Okay, carry on.
I do like, I do a rabbit like this. Okay. So you have to put it close together like this, and then put right here. I also do the, what is it? A bat.
A bat.
Yeah.
Wow. Bats are very famous now, especially during the COVID-19.
So then I do the, basically sometimes I also do a dog
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes a coat.
Mm-hmm.
But my most special one would be a mask.
Mask.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, Anish. It was great to hear from you. So if any one of you can do, what you can do is shadows, right? What you can do is, you see the picture that I've shown you? It's actually a real person forming a shadow. So if you can do it, like Anish can do it, right? So like you can just do it at home, ask your parents or your siblings to take a picture and post it to me, right? And I've given you my number before, right? Later, maybe at the end of the lesson, we'll give you my number again, because the WhatsApp is always waiting for your projects. Like Dash always wants to do project. Dash is still telling me he's going to do project. Okay, what's your project idea, Dash? Okay, let's go. Dash.
So basically, you can make a project about like a science topic. Then after we make PowerPoints like if for example, like on one, like about, for example, if you were to be a teacher and you would want to teach students about this topic, okay, then how would you frame the PowerPoint slide? Like how do you?
So you want to create a PowerPoint slides to
Yeah.
teach a lesson.
No, not really to
Can.
teach a
And then?
lesson. Like to like show like how are you like to frame how you're gonna teach, like somehow.
Okay, so and teaching idea.
Yeah, teaching idea. That's what it.
Okay, thanks, Anish. Thanks, Dash. All right, mute. Yes, okay. So, see, you guys are actually very, very involved right now, because the moment the shadow pictures came up, you are showing me your shadows, you're giving me project ideas, carry on the good. And I'm actually seeing all these things that you are trying to convey to me on the chat. So if you want to convey to me on the chat, and if I see something interesting, of course, I'll let you speak during the class. And then later we do have some questions as well. All right. Okay. But like I said, one of the project that I can think of for this weekend is for you to go and form some shadows of your own. Try the ones that are on the screen here. Just Google and see, how can I make a bat? How can I make a rabbit? How can I make a mouse? Look at this other one that is a very, the third picture that you see on my screen. It's the best one, but of course it's like a drawing. So you can see even the hands, the legs of the whatever animal that is. It's not a rabbit. It's a squirrel, right? A rabbit will have long ears, but I see the tail, and I think it's a squirrel. Okay, if you have these pictures that you can send to me, and then I will share them all with you next week. Okay, we can all put it on a slide like this and share. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anybody else wants to speak? Sri Vikash, what do you want to say?
Okay, so I know a bit about shadows. The thing is, you can make shadows, but shadows happen when light can't pass through something opaque, and then there's a lot of dark spaces.
Correct.
And that space is shadow.
Correct. So the light actually gets blocked, yeah? So in this case, your hand is blocking the light. Wow, look at the new slide, all of you.
Ooh, this is so like.
This is so like, now you have better ideas what to do for the project, right? You can try it. Okay, so it's over here. You can pick up this slide from the recorded version, which will be uploaded tomorrow, right? Which will go straight to the website and also the YouTube. Just go and pause this and then play around with your siblings, because you know what I hear from students? I don't know what to do. I'm so bored. I don't have anything to do, especially they go and pull down mommy's and daddy's shirt and say, I don't have anything to do. Give me something to do. Okay. So I'm trying to give you something to do. So you should write it down and say, this weekend I'll try and play with shadows. Okay, because it is fun, and especially if you can take a picture of it, because all of you own phones. No, you don't have siblings. You definitely do have parents, some of you. Yes or no? Okay, you can find a phone somewhere, a camera somewhere, click a picture and send it to me. and we will share this next week. Look at the number of examples I've given you here. Okay, they are quite amazing actually, because all of us can do the rabbit. I can do the rabbit like very fast, but if to try the many other ones, you haven't really tried them, then go and try. Okay, let's move on. So thank you for giving us some idea, Sri Vikash, the idea about how shadows are formed. Of course, whatever Sri Vikash said was to do with this page here, the necessary conditions for a shadow to form. First, you need to have light somewhere. You cannot have total darkness. Can you? You say, oh, shadows can only form in darkness. Yeah. So can I switch off all the light and just sit down here and try and do and find a shadow? Cannot, right? Cannot. That's why when we ask you to define how is a shadow formed, you all say, oh, shadows are formed when there's no light. Wrong. Shadows are formed when it's dark. Wrong. You need to have darkness and light. You need to have both. Okay, so you need to have light, and then you need to block this light with something, and that something, that object, has to be a particular type of material. Remember materials, we did materials, and if it allows light through, it's transparent. If it allows some light through, it's translucent. If it allows no light through, it's called what? Unmute all. Okay, thanks for the answer. See, I wrote down the word that you all told me, but important is to know how to spell, right? Okay, and still don't know how to spell opaque. Okay, OPAQUE, but only opaque objects form shadows. How about translucent? Can also. This one will have well-formed dark shadows, whereas here you will have like very light shadows, because the shadows can be seen but not really clear because some light still pass through. You understand? Okay. Next week, Yuvan has told me over the chat that he can make dinosaurs. Okay, so he's going to make T-Rex, Stegosaurus, and all, right? And what else? Pteranodon, all the kinds of dinosaurs, and he'll show us. Yuvan, next week. Okay. All right. So you know what kind of shadows are formed when you have opaque and translucent. And what's the third? The shadows cannot form if you don't have something for the shadows to form on. It could be a wall, but usually we call it a surface or a screen. Very important. If you don't have this is the third condition that is necessary. If you don't have, then you cannot play with shadows. So tonight or tomorrow, you're trying to make a shadow. If you switch off all the light, cannot work. If you switch on all the light, cannot work. If you don't have a screen or a wall, it cannot work. You cannot go out in the garden and try to form a shadow, because in the garden is open unless you have a surface where the shadow can form. All right. Next. Okay, so this one we all know. Now, a shadow forms on the opposite side of the light source. What does that mean? There will always be three objects or three stuff or three things. One is the light. One is the object. And finally, the third condition is you need the screen. So you always need three things. And the shadow will form where? On the screen, which is on the opposite side, okay, of the light, right? Because the light is being blocked. So the center part must be the blocking the light from falling. So this one I think is basic, right? You understand? So, okay, let's go on. The shape of the shadow is similar to the shape of the object. This one you need to pick up when you start to do the questions, right? What kind of shape will form? There you go. You have a rabbit, you have a squirrel. Why? Because your hands actually can block the light according to the shape. Okay, so that's why. Why a knife? Okay, let's go on. Now, this is a question for all of you. Remember, I said you have to pay attention. Okay, now this question is for you to do. It was not in your homework. It's a new question, so you have to do it now, right now, and answer on the chat. Dash has answered. Anish has answered. Superboy, Ayush, Sri Vikash, Litasa, CTP, Jordan, James. Okay. Can, right? Easy, right? So easy. That's why we give this question to primary 3. Primary 4 will be more difficult. Primary 5 will be even more difficult. Primary 6 will be super difficult. Later, at the end of this lesson, I'll show you how a primary 5 and 6 question shadows look like. And guess what? In primary 6 and primary 5, we will not teach you shadows again. We will teach you only in now, in primary 3 and primary 4. And then by primary 5 and primary 6, we expect you to understand shadows so well that the questions get tougher and tougher, in such that we allow your imagination to give you the answer to see what kind of shapes will form on different situations. We will have an example over there. Okay, before we move to the next slide, I have Mr. James here who's knocking on my door saying, Ali, answer this question. He's asking me this many times. Okay, so I'm going to read the question. Why at night when I switch off the lights and close the curtains, I can still see things around me? Anybody have an answer for that? He switch off the light and draw all the curtains, he still can see things around him. Why? Because the curtains are not blocked out. Curtains do not completely block the light. Okay, I have the same kind of curtains at home. I know what you mean, James. My curtains still allow some light through. You go to the person who you buy a curtain from, he will tell you, this curtain allows 10% of light in. This curtain allows 30% of light in. And this curtain blocks all light, 100% blocking, okay, at night. Okay. All right. So that is the reason there is some light still coming through. Your curtains can be allowing the light in. Okay. If you have blackout curtains, this is called blackout. That is 100% blocking. You should not be able to see anything. Okay. You can try it in a room where there are no windows. Okay. Usually in a room where there are no windows, it's possible. But you know what? Our doors, maybe you should try a room with no doors as well. How is that possible? You know, our doors at the bottom, they do have a small little hole. That little hole will also allow light in. If the light outside your room, in the living room, in the kitchen is on. So maybe you should switch off everything because your door can allow a little light in too. All right. Okay. Storeroom. Go to the storeroom. Okay. Thanks, James. You answered your own question. Right. Let's go. Okay. Now we have a teddy bear. And this is what I mean by primary 4 type of question. Just now we saw as primary 3 type of question. Primary 4 type of question is when you place the teddy bear at different positions, your shadow gets scarier and scarier or bigger and bigger. And you say, oh no, ghost! Okay, sometimes you do not know you left a teddy bear over there and you suddenly see a shadow forming something like that and you thought someone is there. Okay, a large shadow, a smaller shadow, and a tiny shadow will be formed depending on how far away your teddy bear or your object is from the light source, like this. Okay, so this is the diagram of the teddy bear. So where's the teddy bear? Where's the teddy bear? Imagine this a teddy bear. Of course, you can just put a ball there also. Can you see how the shadow size changes? Where is the shadow size? Let's do yellow color shadow size. There. Shadow. Actually, okay, this is the shadow size, this is the shadow size. You can see the distance. Okay, there are 2 distances, right? What are the 2 distances? This distance, where is my paper? This distance is distance what? X, let's say. And then this distance is distance Y. Okay, between the object and the light is distance x, then the other is y. When you vary this, okay, you make x smaller or y bigger, or y bigger or y smaller, your shadow will change. This one you can play around. Also, at the same time that you're trying with your hand tonight, this week, tomorrow, when you're playing with the shadows, you can also try bringing your hand nearer the light and further away from the light, nearer the wall, further away from the wall. Can you get a bigger dinosaur? That would be interesting. You know, those of you who have siblings, good. You call him in, you say, I'm going to show you a dinosaur. Of course, you have dinosaur, what do you call, toys, right? You can actually play with them. Just now, remember you saw, okay, let's see the teddy bear. You see the teddy bear shape comes out. So what will happen if you have a dinosaur toy? You put the dinosaur, you take a torchlight. Easy to get torchlight. Don't say you don't have torchlight. All of you know where to get torchlight. Yes, from the phone. From the phone. Okay. From the phone. Okay, from the phone, you can just shine your light, shine on the dinosaur toy or whatever toy, and you can create a big, big dinosaur on the wall. And then you call your little brother in or your little sister in, and don't show him the little toy, show him the big dinosaur on the wall and say that a dinosaur just entered our room. Okay, so that's another activity you can do today. Okay. Let's move on. Before that, anyone wants to say something? Let's see. Dash. Hi, Dash.
Hi. Actually, this is a strap which is basically translucent. This kind of metallic was used to make armors, if you were to see.
Like make what?
Armors.
Armors, yeah.
Like if you were to see, it's like looking so translucent. Like
that's your what? Your rubber mat that go.
No, it's a metal strap. Metal strap.
Oh, it's a metal strap. Okay. I've also seen those designs on rubber mats, right? Those that keep our things falling off the car dashboard, right?
Yeah, okay. I was like this. Is this? Do we call this translucent or opaque? Because like, if you were to see, like they're so small holes.
They are not transparent, not opaque. They are made of the holes are transparent where light fully passes through. And then the material where it blocks the light completely, that's opaque. So this is not completely, it's not, you can't call it translucent. It's made of opaque and transparent because you have a hole there. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was getting confused. Is there some other name for this, like translucent or what?
So you can't call it translucent. Okay, because translucent as a whole, yes, it allows some light through, but the material itself is not translucent, right? Because the material is made of opaque actually, with holes created just by the design. Okay, so if the source is moved closer, remember now the distance is talking about the light here. So let's carry on. You see, you can move the light, the torch light, which is coming from your phone. Nowadays, it's easy to get. In the past, when we didn't have phones, very hard to get torch. Then you have to put batteries and blah, blah, blah. Now you just charge your phone, you get a torch. Okay, you carry on. And you can move different items, but essentially, you are still controlling this X and Y. You may move things left, move things right, but you're still controlling X and Y. So your question should always be X and Y. If X goes down, what will happen? If X goes up, what will happen? Meaning, decrease the distance. Okay, so we will leave this question for a little bit later when we're looking at the questions. All right. Now, you know this, shadows can be formed when you are standing under the light, which can be under the sun as well. During noon, the afternoon sun is right above our head, so we see our shadow like the first one. Can you see I'm shading? This is the noontime shadow because the sun is directly above us. And sometime around 2 o'clock, our shadow is something like this. Sometime around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, when the sun is setting, our shadows can be like this, or in the morning can be like this. So it depends on where the sun is. So the sun position is important. So let's look at the sun now. See the sun? Okay. The sun is directly above the man. So you have a shadow that is small. The sun is not directly above the man. It is at an angle away from him. So he's blocking. Can you see he's blocking all these parts from the, so therefore it forms a long shadow. Okay. Whereas here, he's only blocking this part. So therefore it forms a narrow shadow. Okay. This is how you look at it, because the light is coming from here, and then whatever light can shine. So this light is light. Here is no light. So when there's no light, this block is a shadow. We call it a shadow. Okay. Again, you need to be aware of this short and long shadows. If you are aware, you can answer this question. Go ahead and tell me answer A, B, C, or D. Joe cycled down a road at night past a lighted street lamp from point A to point C. So he's going to have different shadows as he moves, right? Especially at B. I'll give you a clue, okay? Find out the size of the shadow when he is at B. So length of shadow, so you got to see the x-axis is asking how long the shadow is length. So the length of shadow will be long or short at A. Will be long at A, right? Will be short at B. And will be long at C again. So therefore, it should be long, short, long. Long, short. This is short, right? Because this refers to a short, this answer here. Maybe this is 5. This is 10, and so on. Then, hey, what happened here? A cannot. Because where's C? There's no answer for C. That means you are saying for A, right? The shadow just becomes smaller and smaller. It doesn't grow. But my answer is shadow will become smaller and smaller and smaller. Then it will grow and grow and grow, right? It will grow. After you leave B, you are going away from the light being above your head. So only when the light is above your head, you will always be the smallest. Wherever else, it will get longer. So here will be longer at this point. This point will be longer, and this point will be longer, and this point will be longest. This point will be smaller. This will be the smallest, and then get longer again, longer, longer, longest. So therefore, answer will be one answer long, one answer short, one more answer long. A, B, C. This is the answer. Okay, now you get it. So now this one is like a primary 5 question. Okay, why? Because you not only have to understand, look at the diagram that I drew on top, all the little yellow circles. You have to understand that. And then you have to go to option A, B, C, D, and then see, hey, what have they drawn here? How come I can find a shadow in a graph format? What is the x-axis here? What are we measuring against what? Time. Time means as the time he cycles, his shadow gets long, go down, go down, go down, go down, and so on. Okay? How many of you need a break? No need lah, come on, it's a short lesson. I don't go like other lessons like 1.5 hours, right? Maximum 1 hour, 15 minutes. So if you didn't go to a toilet just now, never mind. Of course, you can just leave. Don't have to ask me permission. Just go and come back. We will still be here, okay? As long as you come back by 4 o'clock, I'll still be here. By 4 o'clock, I'll be wrapping things up. I need a break. I need a break. I need a break. Break for what? Do what? Toilet? Drink water? You should put a cup of water next to you. Huh? I don't even have water, you know, I'm fasting. This month is fasting month, right? I haven't drunk water since 5 o'clock. I haven't eaten since 5 o'clock. My next breakfast is at 7 o'clock. So how come you guys need a break so fast? Okay, just kidding. Okay, those of you who need to go, you can go and come back. Of course, I know you're going to take a flash, right? 5 seconds. Okay, bring a cup of water to your table. Okay, great. Okay. Those of you having a break, go. Those who are not having a break, answer this question. You can draw the shadow that is formed because of the orientation of this bottle. Help me, because I will need to draw the shape. Okay, so is it going to be, the shape is going to be like this, or the shape is going to be like this, or the shape is going to be like this, and so on, or the shape is going to be like this. Okay, these are the clues. I need you to draw it here, okay? I need you to draw it here, like this. Of course, you ask me where to draw, right? You have a piece of paper, just draw 1, 2, 3, 3 diagrams. Okay? Of course, shadow must be colored. So always do this. I mean, not colored, must be dark. Can be black. Do I have a black? Wow, I do have a black. So shadow should be like this, right? Black. Whoa, I'm having fun here. You have color pencil or not? Magic pen? Oh, yeah, just use black pen. Ah, okay. Black pen, okay. Am I right? This is more accurate. But of course, in the exam, we just need you to do with a pencil. You just do it a pencil, gray color. Do I have gray? In a pencil, you look gray, right? Because you shade. Pa, 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 pa. Dash. Okay, 3 answers. Very good. I've seen your answers. Okay, if you want to on your answers, you can, of course, on your video and show me. Ziv, Zenden. Some of you went for break, didn't do. Yuvan, did you try Yuvan? No, Yuvan? Didn't try. If you don't try, how will you find out? How will you check with my answers? The helping figures are given at the right. You just need to choose one and put it in. Okay? How many of you notice how many join us for the class today? Usually, how many do we have? Usually, we have 18, 19, 20. Today, we have 50. We have managed to get 50 people here. Whoa, what does that mean? 50 people are learning about shadows today all around Singapore. Some of you are in Pasir Ris, some of you are in Changi, some of you are in Jurong. All of us are all connected together right in the center, because where is Ali? Ali is right in the center. You know where am I? I'm at Sentosa. I'm Sentosa, really? Later, if I have time, I will take my webcam and go show you Sentosa, okay? Then you help me to finish the class. No way, Brandon. No way, you think I'm not at Sentosa. Okay, there's only one way to prove you wrong and prove me right, which is to take my webcam and show you a live demo of where I am. Okay, where I am. Okay, later at 4 o'clock. Okay, are you all ready for that? So stay tuned for that. Can't leave the lesson then now. Oh no, I want to see Ali at Sentosa. Okay, I'm in the middle. Show it now, says that. Show it now. No, only for those who participate in my class properly and stay on till the end, I'll show them. It's a reward. Okay. Okay, the answers are here. This is how the glass jar is going to block the candle's light in different ways. Okay, this is again, like I said, P5 question where the shape is not just a circle or a square. It's actually irregular. It has a small part, it has a big part. And then you see that this part, you see? Okay, now you know why the shadow is the way. You see? Can you see? See the second one, because this part is blocked and the other side is not bigger than that. Unless this side is bigger. Okay, if I say this object is bigger like this, what will happen? So let's do it in white. If this object is like this, then what will happen? Then the shadow will have this also, right? Am I right? So that is going to have, hey, this is very important, guys. Because suddenly just something changes, suddenly the shadow changes. Am I right? This is going to happen. Say yes. Click on yes if I'm right. You see? because beyond this circle shape, there is this extra part jutting out of that circle shape, which will cause that shadow to be blocked there as well. See, there's a difference. Okay. So we will do more so they get familiar. But I already told you, I went from primary 3 question to primary 4 question to primary 5 question. What else is there? Primary 6 question. That will come at the end also. Okay, wait. Let's stick to primary 4 and primary 5 now. Why am I doing primary 4 and primary 5? I know I have primary 5, primary 6. Every one of you are here. 50 of you here. Okay, but I told you the school teachers will not teach shadows again in primary 5 and primary 6. They will revise with you more difficult questions, okay? But the shadows topic is over. You know how a shadow is formed, you know how light is blocked, and when the object is irregular, when there are different shapes, they will look like this. Now, it's your homework. Can you draw for me quickly on a piece of paper? There are 2 torches in position 1 and position 2. Okay, remember you have a cup. All of you have a cup with a handle, right? You can shine the torch from different places where the handle is being seen. Here, this is the important part. I better use yellow color. See this part? The handle is blocking the light. Therefore, the shadow will be different for the first one. Whereas here, the shadow will not have any handle. Am I right? Am I right? Chloe, you want to try and take control of my screen? You can request me. I will let you take control of my screen and draw for me, Chloe. See, one of my students here volunteered, said, if you want to take control of my screen, you can. Sri Vikash also wants. But Chloe was first, okay? Sri Vikash, next. Nobody else can, only Chloe can. Later, I will write down your names and then see whether I got a chance to give you all. Sri Vikash, Anish, Dash, Sinway, oh my God. Later. We got a lot of chances. But I'm still the guy controlling. Oh, look at Chloe's answer. So nice. No. She hasn't drawn yet. Chloe, you can draw. I have to. Okay, Chloe, are you in power? Are you having the power, Chloe? Hey, the rest of you don't ask me for approval because I won't give. Those who are asking me approval, I will mark your name down. I won't give forever. Please stop it. Because Chloe can't draw if she is not given a chance. Okay, the rest of you try not to. Chloe is still trying, okay. But because all of you are asking me, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give Chloe the chance to. Chloe, just 1 minute, Chloe. We need to change the slide, Chloe. 1 minute. Just let me hold the mouse. If not, I have to stop everything. Okay, looks like I have to stop Chloe as well. Then we restart. Okay, let's go. Decline. See lah, give you all some chance to play, you all make life more difficult for me. Now I tell you, don't ask me to allow you to have remote control, okay? If not, I will mark your name down and not allow you to do it forever. Don't ask me now. Don't ask me now. Later, okay? Okay. Now, this screen is what Chloe needs to see. Chloe is controlling now. The rest, please keep quiet and just watch. She's not able to because it's going all over the place. Okay, maybe I should allow you to annotate, not control the screen. Okay, let's do that. How do I do that? Later, okay, we play with all these tools soon. the lesson is getting more fun, right? Okay, and you still have 20 minutes of the lesson, so don't worry, guys. We'll play more. We just need to find out how to let. We need to let. Chloe, you can try to stop control of the screen then. Regain control by clicking on your screen. You can regain control by clicking on your screen. Okay, decline. See, things are all over the place. Just hang on, guys. We need to get back to where we were, especially here. If not, we just need to move away from this slide. Okay, this one, this page, I need to go to annotate, right? Omsif, please stop requesting Omsif. I have to kick you out of the room then. Okay, Omsif, please stop it. Okay. Okay, now let's do deleting. Yay, delete. Okay. Let's say Chloe has given us the answer, Chloe. Thanks. Chloe, we try again another time because I think I shouldn't allow you to control, but I should allow you to annotate. So there's a difference, guys. Enable participate, the annotate button. I know how to let the annotate work. Me too. But, okay, in the next slide. I told you we have 20 more minutes, right? We are learning. So we will have another chance. I have some of your names here. Those good boys and good girls, you will be called to control my screen. But those naughty ones, which I keep disturbing me, I'm going to not let you. Okay. So you see the difference. Now the handles are in the shadow and the handles are not in the shadow. You see the difference? This is P5 question we will ask you to draw. Okay. All right. Next. Depends on the, so the shadow will depend on the position of the object and also position of the light source and also the shape, right? One more thing, also shape. Okay. So shape, let's write down also the shape. Okay, we learned that today. Now how to draw. Okay, let's check your answers, right? These are the answers to the questions that were given to you and you downloaded them and you tried them and you realized you don't have many questions this time as homework because I have the questions as classwork. That's why just now you answered 2 MCQs during class, right? So you have more class participations, especially I know some of you don't even have time to do the homework or download the PDF, which I strongly encourage to, so that you can have more participation during the discussion part. Okay? Then he investigated the shape of shadows formed by 2 identical wooden objects. He placed them in 2 different positions under 2 identical torches. Now this is primary 5 question. Huh? Still not, that means, Ali is still not primary 6 yet. If this is still primary 5, what is primary 6, right? You will come. I will show you. That means your PSLE will not have even this question, which is too easy. We think it's too easy for you. If this is too easy, what is difficult? Okay, we will look at it. Which one of the following shadows? Before we look at the question, anybody asking me to control the screen is going to be kicked out of the class, which I already did to 2 students. Anybody asking to control my screen is going to be kicked out of the class, which has, because your message keeps popping out and I can't teach. So don't do it. Okay. So let's look at the answer. All of you already have the answer, right? The answer is E. Answer is E, right? Yes? No, there's no E. Yeah, of course there's no E. Okay, then answer is, you have to have the correct answer for screen A and screen B. So how do you determine? Remember the shape that is being blocked is here. Okay, if you look at what I'm drawing, it's blocked by here. So therefore, it will form because of the extension of this side. Remember this. Now, here will it form? No, because it's only the bottom part blocking bigger than the. So what you must see is although this part is being blocked, okay, you please put your eyes attention to where I'm drawing, because my color pen is very important. Although this yellow color is being blocked, then you will have a small shadow. But then this bigger also is being blocked. The bigger area is also being blocked. This part is also being blocked. So therefore, the shadow will be include the bigger part also. Am I right? That's all. This is the correct answer. This is what I mean by you have to work with your imagination. Those of you who can think, you can get answer. Those who cannot get answer, you cannot think. I didn't say you don't know the answer. I say you cannot think, because you are supposed to think through the shape slowly. That's why I'm trying to show you how to think through it. Okay, I know it is still okay, the starting stages of shadows for some of you. You need to think through the answers by looking at which part is being blocked. And this will be even more easier if you try it at home. Like I said, you have a project to try, which you can try tonight with a source light, which from your phone, and then you try to block the objects, and you will find, hey, what kind of shadows form. Okay, this one, hey, so easy. How come we're doing primary 3 question now? Okay, primary 3 question, maybe primary 4 question, but the only difference is it A or B? It can be A, it can be B. Then we type A. Why is it not B? Why is it A? Answer is A, right? Okay, because we want to find which is black, because shadows are black. So we are testing you whether you know if the shadow is formed by the cone, which should be black, or should it be that everywhere else should be black. So you see the two blacks. This is black. So where should be black? That's why A is the answer. Okay, because the wooden toy blocks it. Okay. Which question is not clear between so far so good, right? Sajida, do not get it. Do you not get it? Get which question, Sajida? Okay, I'm stopping for some students who may need some more explanation. This is very easy, so I'm not going to explain, but question 1 is difficult, so you need some more practice. So let's do some more practice. This is some more practice. Okay, very similar to the triangle. However, which of the following best represents shadow that we form on the screen? I know I have 50 students here, right? Only 10 of you did the homework, right? I know. So 40 of you didn't, right? So what to do? Forty students. Answer this question. Tell me. B, 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 B. See, although it's a metal container that is circular in shape, many of you, okay, have the tendency to go for answer A or C. Am I right? Very easy to go for A or C. But now this is the best thing. Go and find a biscuit tin container, shine the torch, get the shadow on the wall, and you'll find that you get B, not A and C. Why? To know that, look at the line that I'm drawing. This part is the one that is blocked, right? And the other side as well, that is blocked. So if you really look at this part that is blocked, then it is blocked like that. This whole part is blocked. It's a square or a rectangle. Okay, so let me draw that again. You have this part, from this part to this part that is blocked. So this part is blocked, this part is blocked. So this part is blocked. So this is the shadow that you will see. Try with a circular tin. Okay, so answer is B. Very difficult, right? Not primary 6 yet, right? You have to do all these things, okay? Noel wanted to find out how the position of the sun affects the length of the shadow. We did this with the cyclist just now, right? So based on the diagram, which one of the following statement is true? Okay, he plays. Okay, just now I kicked out 2 students. Now I'm going to kick out the 3rd student. Okay, don't worry. I already warned you. You don't have to be in the class. You want to play with the buttons. I'm going to kick you out. Already 2 students are out of the class. If you can see the participant number is dropping. I'm not lying. Okay. Okay, Noel wanted to find out, based on the diagram above, which of the following statement is true? The sun shining at position B will form the longer shadow. The sun shining at position C will form the shorter shadow. Okay. So the changes are here. Of course, we know B will be shorter shadow. Then C and A will be longer. We don't know if it's longest. Depends on the distance. If it's exact distance, how? Then A and C cannot win each other. They probably have the same length of shadow. B will have the shorter shadow. Okay. So answer A wrong, because this should be the shortest. Answer B also wrong, because this will not be the shortest, it will be longest, along with A. A also. The length of shadow increases as the sun shifts its position from A to B. No, decreases. Because from A longer, it becomes shorter. Okay. And last one, the length of shadow formed by the sun at position A will be shorter than at position C. The length of shadow increases as the sun shifts its position from A to. So which one? All wrong, right? Okay, I know who to kick out already. Guys, I'm also updating you on the kicking out process, because whenever I'm disturbed, I'm kicking out. I warned him, but he wants to play. Now he knows that he's going to say bye-bye. Okay, he's gone. Okay, let's carry on. What's the time now? 3:53. Still in time. How come today have so much time? Okay. You will know who is being kicked out if you are disturbing me. If you are being, I know some of you are very eager to find out, right? Disturb me, then you know you will get kicked out. Okay. So all 3 answers A, B, C are out. Then D says the length of shadow formed at the position A will be shorter than position C. Why? Okay. Now this distance is the same, but the height of A, the sun is higher here. Okay, let's erase everything so you can see clearer. Now you see the sun is here versus the sun is here. So what happens is a lot of the light, okay, will be blocked. So the shadow will be very long, right? Whereas here, the other one, there's some light still can pass through, and then here the shadow will be short. So for A, the shadow will be shorter than C, because C, all the light is blocked. This is the reason why the shadow of A will be shorter than shadow of C. Very interesting question, right? See, things get difficult, more difficult as you find out, okay? Okay. Okay, this one, fill in the blanks. Can you fill up very fast? A shadow is formed when the light is blocked. Okay, easy. This one is definition, must know. Can be fully blocked or partially blocked, but it's blocked. Okay, can be fully blocked or partially blocked. Okay, sometimes you want to extend the answer, because at the start we said shadows can be formed when light is fully blocked or partially blocked by light, by an object. Okay, of light by an object. When the torch moves further away from the cone, the shadow becomes smaller or bigger. That means the torch moves further away. The torch is now here. Okay. So what will happen? The object, the more light can pass through. More light can pass through means the shadow becomes smaller. Okay. Again, this is experimental. You need to Try, and also you need to know this distance. Remember we talked about this distance, x and y. So shall we do the x and y now? Okay, x and y. When x value drops, okay, you can see from the B, when the x is moved further away, that means when x goes up, then the shadow size becomes bigger. Okay, so therefore the opposite will happen. If x goes down, shadow size will go down. Understand? Then for y, let's change color. Please pay attention. This is the important point. You need to write it down in your notes. What is y and x? This is the one that the x I've just drawn here, the y I've drawn here. We're talking about that. When x is longer, you can go to the reference point, check here. When x is longer, that means up here, longer. This means longer, that means go up. Then the shadow size also go up. No, shadow size go down. See, good, you notice. Okay, then when x go down, then shadow size must go up. So it's opposite. What about y? Okay, y, it means when y becomes smaller, you must imagine this. When y becomes smaller, what is becoming to x? What is becoming to x? X is becoming bigger. Am I right? Why? If I bring the wooden cone closer here, can you see here? If I bring the wooden cone closer here, my x, okay, now I change everything. Okay, just watch out here. If I bring my wooden cone closer here, my y has become smaller. Am I right? This is this condition. But at the same time, I have made x bigger. Oh my God, x bigger. So that means it's the same as this. Can you see? X has become bigger. So the shadow can be smaller, the shadow can be bigger. That's all. It's very fast because you need to be able to identify the x and y. When y becomes smaller, it means go back to x. So therefore, I don't need to remember so much. All I need to remember is, I don't even remember all this. I erase. Look at me erasing. Why? Because if this is x, this is y. That's all. If I increase y means I'm reducing x and so on. So you can actually just live with this table. Don't understand, okay? Let's say I'm a bit too fast here. Always go back to this slide in the lesson tonight or tomorrow when this is posted up and go through what I mean by x and y. If x becomes smaller or y becomes smaller, what happens? Okay, and so on. So draw the shadow of the cone that is formed on the screen. Oopsie, again. Do you draw this? Or do you draw this? Or do you draw this? Okay, it depends on the area that is. So it is here, right? So is this a triangle? Yes. Okay, this part is blocking the light, and so is the other side. So it will form a triangle. So answer is this. And then, do you know that? Okay, this one important. Zenden, Joshua, Dash, Yuvan, Sri, Vikas, Yushen, Brandon, Kason, every one of you, listen up. This is important. If you draw like this, your teacher has a lot of reason to minus your mark because your shadow was not colored in. We teach you that a shadow will look like this, will not look like as though some light is passing through it. Am I right? So this is a shadow. So a shadow should be a shadow. Okay. Okay, dear Yushen. Let's see. Where's Yushen? Yushen wants to say something, so I'm going to give him a chance. That will also break Mr. Ali's monotonous voice and give him. But Yushen is not around. Where's Yushen? Or maybe he raised his hand. He goes right up. Yes, he's there. Yushen, you're welcome.
Why is Miss Indra in the class?
I tell you why. Okay. was not a very important question, but I tell you why. Because I allowed some students to rename themselves, and they rename themselves Miss Indra. That's all. Got it? So one of the students in here is called Indra by luck. Of course, if I'm angry with that person, I can actually kick her out, right? So I'm not angry yet. She hasn't disturbed me yet, so I'm just leaving her alone. Okay. All right. Next question. This also was in your homework. So you again, shadows is always in your exams, right? In P6, you always have this. You have an object, you will have torch, you will have the screen. You will have three objects. All you have to determine is X and Y, X and Y. See, that's why there's X here, right? This time there's really X. See, there's really X. I'm going to make it big for you. There's X here. Distance X, and there's distance X given as well. As it changes, becomes longer and longer, will the height of the shadow be longer and longer? Yes, or shorter and shorter. Opposite, you see? As the heights become longer and longer, the shadow size becomes shorter and shorter. It's going opposite. Based on the information, how does distance S affect the height of the shadow form? Oh, you just say the longer the distance X, the shorter the copy exactly from the table. Okay, copy exactly. This is the last question. So you can stay on another 5 minutes. I'm going to end the lesson, right? So no need to leave yet. I still haven't showed you Sentosa. So wait. Okay. The longer the distance X, the shorter the distance of the height of the shadow. That's all. Just copy exactly. The shorter the height of the shadow form on the screen, because I copied. See here? I copied. This is how I teach you to just copy. And then this also I copy. So because they just ask you based on information, how does the distance? You're just supposed to tell how it went up, how it went down. Okay, not difficult. State another way Jerry can form a larger shadow. Can you imagine? How did he form the larger shadow? Ta-da! This is the largest shadow. His largest shadow came about because the distance X was the shortest. What can you do to Y? Distance X must always be small. So in order to do that, you can actually increase distance Y. So distance Y, where is distance Y? Of course, in the question, you cannot say distance Y. This is distance Y. So what do you move? Okay, you can, if you move the ball, you need to play with X, right? You have to move the screen. Okay, so you move the screen further away from the ball, you can move Y. Okay, that's the end of the questions that we had for the homework. Okay, now you see the title of this one. I did not give you the homework, but I'm giving you as a challenge number 1. Take home today, next week I discuss. Okay, so where will this question be? Will be posted in the after class notes on the website where you actually download your homework. It will be there. Or you can pick up the video which I teach today, which will be recorded and shown to you on the YouTube, on the website, and pick up the question. It will be there. So up to you to go and pick up the question for the homework. This is finally primary 6 question. If you are in primary 6, if you are in primary 5, you should get this right. If you're in primary 3 and primary 4, you can try. This is a challenge, really, really challenge. Okay, I haven't covered a P6 question today because how my class is P5, P3 and P4. So, but I can still let you take it back as a challenge because I know students who are happy to do project for me, are happy to go and do hand shadows for me, are happy to go and test out some shadows by using a cylindrical biscuit container, are happy to try the questions, then you try. You're not happy to try? No problem. Next week, I see all 50 of you here. We can discuss the answers together. Okay, this is challenge 1. I have another question, challenge 2 as well. This is the second question. And those of you who have projects, you can send them to me, to my WhatsApp. I think all of you know my WhatsApp number. I myself don't know where's my WhatsApp number because I forget, because I have my own number and my 88 tuition number. Okay, so let's see what's my WhatsApp number. Those of you who are interested to WhatsApp me your projects, your photos of your shadows, you are welcome to do so. And I've already shared with you, Wes. Okay. Oh yeah, and then Sentosa is coming up. Okay, let me write down the number first. My number to WhatsApp me if you have shadow pictures, you will be, and that will be shared with you next week, is 893300205. And you are welcome to see the picture that I put here. Use your imagination. It's the only thing that will never run out. Why? Because shadows is all about imaginations. Okay? Thus, your parents don't allow you, you tell them you have a project to show your teacher. And then say, if you show me the picture next week, your picture will come out in the lesson. Okay, that's what you have to tell your parents. Your parents don't allow you to WhatsApp. Of course, they will allow you to WhatsApp your teacher. Come on, what happened during HPL? You will manage to email your teacher, WhatsApp your teacher, everything happened, right? So if it's teacher, it's fine. Just tell them it's your 88 tuition teacher who wants a shadow picture sent to him. And then I'll receive your pictures. I'll put it in next week's lesson. I'll put on your projects. I'll put on these 2 challenge questions. Give me your answers. We will discuss, because these are really challenging questions. Go try them. Those of you who are really very, very interested in doing science questions, try these 2 questions. Okay, shall we move to the Sentosa? Then we can switch off. My mother confiscated my phone. That's because you're naughty. Okay, so let's see. I am going to Sentosa. Those who are here, let's go Sentosa. Ta-da!